Hello and welcome to the Three Wheel Podcast. Today I have Brandon Holloway here with me. Hey Brandon, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Danny?
I'm doing great, thank you. We're gonna just do a catching up with Brandon Holloway podcast today.
Awesome.
How's that sound?
Great.
This way, you're probably the folks who'll be listening to this will be other three-wheel folks who say, "What's Brandon been up to lately?" Or you've been on all the projects, so they know what you're up to then, huh?
Yeah, been on a couple.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So, let's just get this whole thing kicked off with: have you been on one main project or across multiple projects, or what's it been like recently?
Well, lately I've been on a few different projects, but one has been my main focus, and lately it's just been kind of like a stabilization type phase, getting ready for a production release coming up, and just retesting a whole bunch of issues. So that's the main thing. There's a couple other smaller ones. One, I'm actually working with our product Trove, which allows file uploads through Salesforce into SharePoint, and so
Nice. I gotta give me some of that.
Oh yeah, it's some good stuff, man. But yeah, I've been doing some testing there. The client wanted us to go back and fix a couple of low priority issues since there was some time left. So
Okay.
yeah, I've been doing some of that. There's another one I've been working on a little bit here and there, with it's like a trucking company.
Okay.
Where they have like these observation forms, dealing with the drivers and whatnot, and we've done some pretty cool stuff with that, and so I'm doing some testing on that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there's another one a little bit down the road coming up, with another big company, dealing with some calendar and document management stuff. So
Cool. So, have you been, we've been this past year, it surprised us how much migration work we were getting. Are you typically involved in any of those migration projects, or have those come up, or is it something that typically the client would end up doing, the testing part of it?
well, the testing part of it, so far I've only been involved with maybe two that
Okay.
are dealing with migrations. I do test in our environment, but as far as the actual migration itself, a lot of times that's with either the developers here at Three Wheel and working with the client. So haven't been really heavily involved when stuff gets moved over to production, not mostly.
Nice. What's been your favorite project recently that you've been on? Assuming you have a favorite project, right? If you had to pick one,
maybe the one with Trove.
Sorry for the question out of the blue here.
No,
I just got to
that's
keep you
okay.
on your toes here.
No, it's probably the one I mentioned with Trove. I've been working with Eric on that one, and that one's pretty neat. I guess I kind of like when it's something that's a little different, like it goes across various platforms.
Yeah.
Salesforce, SharePoint,
Yeah.
and also something that developed by Three Wheel. So it's pretty cool to get in there, and I'm the first one, obviously going through there testing that stuff since it's new, and Eric adds features to it every now and then. So it's just kind of refreshing to test something like that, other than I guess you could say same old all the time. So
Yeah, so it's not something. I guess in this case it's SharePoint related, but it's SharePoint and Salesforce related. So
exactly.
Nice, very nice. And so, do you have just to dive a little deeper into that? So, do you set up your own Salesforce environments and your own SharePoint environments for doing the testing, or is that something Eric does for you?
Yes, I do have my own SharePoint and Salesforce environment for the testing that we do, but sometimes the client will have their own sandbox environment that they may want us to test in there too. So, but it always starts with my own environment.
Yeah.
But
Did you do anything with Channel at all? Did you help out with any of the testing for Channel, or was that someone else? Or
I did some testing for Channel. It's been maybe a couple months since I've done any testing with Channel, but there was a major client that we have that really utilized that for their company-wide site, and there's a lot of testing going on then with it. So it's been a while since I've touched it, but I definitely did a good bit of testing with Channel as well.
Very nice. Testing anything in general has what you've been doing on projects. Is it changed through this past year at all, or is it pretty much it's been pretty standard stuff for you?
I would say pretty standard stuff. Each project, may be a little different, but all in all, it's still pretty straightforward manual testing. Just depending on what the application is.
You enjoying what you're doing?
I am.
That's always good. That's always good.
Been testing for probably 9 or 10 years now, and not with 3-wheel that long, but and I love it. I've always loved it.
That's great. That is wonderful to hear. So you're here in the room with me. So you're not in Phoenix City. Is your family up here with you as well?
Actually, yes. This time,
nice.
They are. We have the company Christmas party tomorrow, so we all came up.
Excellent. How are the kids doing?
Oh, they're great. They're great. My oldest is 3 now, and we had another one a few months ago. So he's 5 months old. We got Maddox and Jackson, 2 boys. So it's getting a little more hectic.
Nice. You're putting together a football team, huh?
Yeah. Hey, the size of these kids it may be, they're both in the 99th percentile for height for their age. So who knows? Maybe a tight end, maybe a wide receiver, whatever.
Well, I look forward to seeing your family tomorrow. It'll be nice. We're going to Papa Do's. Papa Do's.
I've never actually been to Papa Do's.
You haven't? Okay.
Well, we don't have those back in Phoenix City and Columbus.
But do you have restaurants in Phoenix City?
Not really. We pretty much have to travel to Columbus, go to the grocery store, and come back and fix sandwiches. Alabama doesn't have a whole lot.
You hunt for all your meat, right?
Yeah, you got it in my backyard.
All right, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna back off here. But so, how do you like living in Phoenix City?
I like it.
Yeah.
It's we lived up here for a couple of years, maybe a couple of years ago. But we were up here for about 2 years, and we like it up here. There's things we miss about up here, but one thing we don't miss is the traffic.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Yep.
But it's like that, I guess, any major city. But it's just everything's a little more slowed down in Phoenix City. You can get one side of the town to the other pretty quickly, and I just kind of like it.
How often do you go across the river to Columbus? Is it pretty often, or is it
every day? Pretty much
every day. Okay.
Yeah, we live maybe 2 minutes drive from Columbus, and it's maybe not every single day, but several times a week. So my wife's always over there. So the shopping and stuff like that, and a lot of restaurants are in Columbus. So Phoenix City has some of that stuff, but not nearly as much. Columbus is probably 5 to 10 times the size of Phoenix City. So
nice. How long does it take you to get up here? I guess from Columbus area, was it a couple hours?
Up to the office, it's probably a little over 2 hours.
A little over 2 hours.
Say maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. To the condo that we're staying at in Buckhead, it's about 1 hour and 45 minutes, just depending on traffic. So.
Nice. Is it somebody you know for the condo, or?
Yeah, my uncle. Well, it's a company he works for. They, he kind of keeps charge of the condo. It just never has anybody in there, so every now and then he'll let us get in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That works out well.
It does. It's a lot better than doing what Bo does all the time and getting up at 4:30 and driving up here.
It's nice having everybody here in the office today. You picked a good day to drop by. There's a lot of folks here.
Yeah. I noticed that. I haven't seen this many people in the office in a while. Of course, I'm not up here a whole lot, but it's pretty full. Yeah.
So anything new? Anything else? Because there's probably going to be other 3-wheel folks who are listening to this. For the Brandon update. Anything else that's new in your life besides second child, daddyhood wise? Anything else?
Probably the main thing right there.
Right.
It's
that'll keep you busy, man.
Yeah, it's keeping my wife busy, definitely.
Excellent.
She's doing a couple of things here and there on the side, but mostly she stays home with the boys, and that's, it's definitely more work than it would look like, from somebody that's never had to deal with it. So definitely commend her for that. But that's pretty much it, man.
Awesome.
Just trying to, living the life.
Living the life in Phoenix City.
That's right.
Excellent.
Don't make it sound so bad.
Did I make it sound bad?
You just kind of trailed off a little bit there in Phoenix City. Got a little slower, I guess.
Hey, you know what? I don't know if you know this, but recently, this past year, moved up to Cumming. And as far as I'm further out basically in the country, you could say in as much as I can say that. So traffic's a little bit slower up there. Let me put it this way. In the morning, you can hear cows in my backyard. So I've moved a little bit to the country.
Okay.
So
Yeah, well, I don't have any cows in my backyard, so you got me beat there.
I said you can hear cows. I don't have cows in my backyard, but you can hear them mooing. So I consider that. I'm up by Sawney Mountain, which has been nice just to be a little bit further north, a little bit further out there, and the family's enjoyed being up there. But yeah, it's nice. It's
A little bit colder.
little bit colder, yeah. Definitely the kids are hoping for some snow. We'll see if that happens, but
Y'all get a lot more of that up here than we do.
yeah,
But
absolutely. Well, thank you for all that you do on projects. It's awesome having you around to come in and do all the QA and testing that you do. We really appreciate what you do, Brandon.
glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen to this and catching up with Brandon, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye.
War Eagle.